You're probably scrolling through a sea of gaming laptops with a million watts of power because you need something that actually lets you game after work, stream your favorite shows, and still feel light enough to carry to a coffee shop. You want a machine that's not just a spec sheet, but a reliable partner that won't overheat when you're deep in a boss fight, and that won't drain your wallet for features you'll never use. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk through why the ASUS ROG Strix G16 might be that partner or why it could be a misstep for certain users. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have is the classic, does this thing actually run my games at 1080p 144 frames per second without turning the laptop into a portable oven? The Strix G16 houses a Ryzen 9 8940HX that can push up to 5.2 GHz, paired with an RTX 5070 Ti. On paper, that's a combo that screams no compromises. In practice, the laptop does deliver solid frame rates in titles like Cyberpunk 2077 and Elden Ring, where I saw consistent 8090 frames per second at high settings on a 165Hz screen. The heat is impressively managed thanks to ASUS's advanced thermal design, a series of copper heat pipes and a dual fan system that keeps the CPU below 90°C even after an hour of intense play. That matters because many laptops with similar CPUs start throttling after 10 minutes, forcing you to drop settings just to stay cool. But the real test isn't just the benchmark numbers, it's how the machine behaves in everyday scenarios. I ran the laptop for a full workday, swapping between a Visual Studio build, a couple of Zoom calls, and a quick gaming session in the evening. The 64GB of DDR5 RAM meant I never hit a bottleneck when juggling multiple IDE windows and web browsers. The 2TB SSD loaded large project files in seconds, and the system booted up in under a minute. When I switched to gaming, the shift from office mode to performance mode was seamless. The power button in the ROG Armoury Crate software toggles the fan curve, and the laptop instantly ramps up the GPU without a noticeable lag. That kind of fluidity is what you need if you're a content creator who also wants to unwind with high-end games after a deadline. Now, who should actually buy this beast? If you're a serious gamer who wants to run the latest AAA titles at high settings, stream while you play, and still have enough horsepower for video editing, the Strix G16 checks those boxes. The 16-inch 165Hz FHD Plus panel, while not a 4K display, offers excellent color accuracy and a fast refresh that makes fast-paced shooters feel buttery smooth. The built-in Wi-Fi 6E ensures low latency when you're on a wireless network, which is a nice touch for those who don't want to be tethered to a router for every gaming session. Also, the future-ready ports, including HDMI 2.1, USB-C with DisplayPort Alt mode, and a full set of USB-A mean you can dock this laptop to a monitor or external SSD without needing a dongle kit. Conversely, if you're primarily after a portable laptop for school or travel, this might feel like overkill. The chassis is noticeably thicker than Ultrabooks, and at around 5.5 pounds it's not the kind of machine you'd want to lug around all day. Battery life also reflects its performance focus. I got roughly 4 hours of mixed usage before needing to plug in, which aligns with other high-end gaming laptops but is a stark contrast to the 10+ hours you'd expect from a conventional notebook. For someone who just wants a modest gaming experience at 1080p low-mid settings, the price tag, especially when you factor in the included accessories, could feel excessive. There are a couple of trade-offs that you can't ignore. The RTX 5070 Ti is a solid GPU, but it's not the top-of-the-line RTX 4090 that some of the newest laptops boast. In practical terms, you'll still see excellent performance, but if you're aiming for ray-traced ultra settings at 1440p or higher, you'll have to dial those features back. The cooling system, while effective, does get audible underload, a faint whine that some users find distracting during late-night gaming sessions. It's not a grinding fan, but it's there, and the laptop doesn't offer a silent mode. Lastly, the backlit keyboard uses a single-zone RGB strip, which looks cool but isn't as customizable as the perky lighting found on some competitor models. If you're a streamer who loves to match your keyboard lighting to your branding, this could feel limiting. One practical strength that often gets missed in the hype is the storage configuration. The 2TB SSD is split into a primary 1TB Windows partition and a secondary 1TB drive that's pre-formatted for game installations. This separation means your OS stays snappy even after you've filled up a massive game library. It also makes reinstalling Windows or cloning the drive a straightforward process. Just copy the entire primary partition and you're good to go. For users who like to keep a clean system, that kind of out-of-the-box organization is a genuine convenience. On.